know you're fussing with his truck?
I'm the son. I'm just borrowing it.
I reckon it's a few months' worth of cleanups on aisle 4 to pay off a DUI impound.
What can I get for you, miss? I got beef.
I can see that.
Hey! Hey!
Let's not waste either of our time. I'm a Catholic.
Well, ain't that what confession's for?
I can't date someone who isn't baptized.
I thought you was gonna say Hispanic. Where's the water? I'll do it now. I know I'm not what you're used to, and not what you deserve either.
Life's gonna give you a gut full of reasons to be angry. You only need one, to be grateful.
This film was so powerful, and your performance was so incredible. I found myself, a lot of your scenes really hit close to home for me, especially when Stu was crying to God and saying, why is this happening to me? I've suffered some losses this past year, and
I'm sorry to hear that.
That scene really hit for me because I've had that same conversation. And
we all have,
yeah.
Especially now,
Yeah.
in this time. You know, it's unprecedented. There isn't anybody who hasn't been directly affected by what's been going on with COVID and the world. And, you know, I lost my mom this year, too, and during the movie.
I know,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why this film can actually be very therapeutic, I think.
Absolutely.
Too, and which I was wondering, which, I mean, I know you probably had this already, but was there a time that something obviously unfortunate happened to you, and in the moment you were saying why, but later you got your answer, and then you realized why it happened?
Of course, yeah. I mean, look, I've asked why many times, and most of the time, I should have known the answer because I had made bad choices and it was my fault. But when I turned to God and I started focusing on my faith, wonderful things started happening for me. So it made things pretty clear. And then, of course, you're dealing with lots of real life, day-to-day stuff. And life has a way of kind of, you know, hitting you when you least expect it. And so, but I think the way he handled it, the way he dealt with his illness and disease and with grace and dignity, and the way he just committed to serving God, and it just made him stronger and stronger, more powerful. And he touched so many people. You know, I've always had the comfort of really believing in God and in heaven, and so seeing my dad really suffer and lose his life, I always chose to celebrate all the wonderful memories and all the good things that we did together, and that what he meant to me. It still didn't make it any easier losing him and seeing him suffer that way, but you know, it's inevitable, right? And we're dealing with things that are out of our control. So to have hope and have faith really allows us to deal with those things. But my faith has really helped me to deal with loss, disappointment, failure, as well as managing and controlling my ego when it comes to success and all those things, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And just speaking of your father, because one of my favorite parts about this film was the relationship with Stu and his dad, and seeing his father finally show his support. And I know you've mentioned how your father was, supportive of your acting career. And actually, I saw in an interview how you mentioned that he was actually the person who introduced you to film and your love of cinema.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you had a movie that you remember watching with your dad that was maybe your favorite movie watching experience with him.
Well, it'd have to be the first one, which is such a vivid memory for me. I mean, I remember getting out of his truck. You know, he drove a truck for Dandy Dinners, which delivered lunches to schools and summer camps. And, you know, he took a 6-pack of Schlitz into the theater, and he took a couple of Oreos out of somebody else's lunch and gave them to me for a snack. And I was 7 years old going into a theater watching a movie with Charles Bronson and James Coburn, directed by Walter Hill. I have the one sheet in my house on my wall.
Wow.
And then, you know, bare knuckle fighting. I mean, it was certainly inappropriate for a child of my age, but I remember it like it was yesterday. And I felt like the kid in Shane watching that bar fight was turned into a gunfight with the candy cane underneath the thing, you know, like that's how excited I was to see it. But he introduced me to Jimmy Cagney, John Garfield, Robert Ryan. I would go to Hollywood and I would mention all these names, and even people who were older than me and experienced in the business didn't know who some of these people were, you know? So my dad was always proud of me. I mean, when I was getting in trouble, obviously it was a huge disappointment to him, but he always encouraged me, and he was always my biggest supporter. And my hero. Yeah. So, you know, he wasn't really impressed with the music and the other stuff, but he was happy that I was doing something productive.
Yeah.
He was happy when I turned my life around, but he was really became a fan when I started acting and started doing things that he was actually genuinely impressed by.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
That must mean a lot to share that love with him and
Yeah.
then see what he
And
gets
it's
to see
also,
you on
I
screen.
mean, you know,
or he got
and
to.
look, do I wish, you know, I wanted my mom to be able to see this and my dad to be able to see this, because also saying, okay, I worked really hard for 25, 30 years in this business, almost 30 years now as an actor. And then to say, you know, I was able to take the bull by the horns and create my own destiny and start finding material that I wanted to make and develop it and produce it and actually become a real filmmaker and make something like this that matters and really has an impact on people. That would have been something, but I know they're proud of me and they're watching. And
They are.
Stu's got a big smile on his face, probably giving my dad crap about taking me to a movie like that at that age.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they are wrapping me up, but I had so many questions I could ask you.
Oh, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And sorry for your losses.
I think God saw something in you worth saving. But it's up to you to decide what you've got to offer.
This is the place you told me you believed in me. I thought it makes sense being back here to do this.
Your son is about to make a huge mistake.
Well, I'm gonna be a priest.
For Halloween.
I'm praying for you, Bill.
Don't you dare! You're violating my rights!
There's a man going around taking names.
We've all been wronged, and we've all done some wrong. But he came to forgive us.
Everybody won't be treated all the same.
There's no easy way to deliver this news. You have a progressive muscle disorder. The muscles weaken until they cease to function.
Is there anything it doesn't mess with?
Yeah, erectile function.
I'm trying to be a priest, pal.
The wise men will bow down before the throne.
I want no doubt. Why?
And at his feet, they'll cast their golden crown.
Man don't lose when he gets knocked down, but when he won't get up.
Hi, baby.
We shouldn't pray for an easy life, but the strength to endure a difficult one.